And we are back with 1134. This is the second episode. It's been about a year. I apologize. I forgot about this series. I'm going to try and not forget anymore. This segment, we're going to be discussing Ari Aster's newest film, Midsommar, which came out about a couple weeks ago. And it stars Florence Pugh as well as Jack Reynor. And tells the story of a couple that is going through relationship problems, and they go to a cult, basically. It's a very interesting movie. If you've seen Hereditary, which, by the way, in my first episode, I didn't like Hereditary as much as I love it now, but due to, a lot of multiple rewatches, my opinion has changed drastically. So, it has that going for it. Also, it didn't really count as a date, but I met a girl on Tinder, and she wanted to hang out, so I decided, hey, I want to watch this new slow burn horror movie because it doesn't look like absolute garbage, which is what most movies this year were. So, I hear noises. Anyway, so this movie stars, has a decent cast. I don't care for Will Poulter. I think that's his name. I don't know, also stars a guy named William Jackson Harper, who plays a character named Josh, and so I instantly liked his character because we share the same name. This film is predictable, but it looks really nice, especially from a cinematography point of view, because each shot is, nothing's really out of focus, I don't think. There's like a few scenes, but that's meant to happen. There are a lot of weird trips in the movie. Danny, the main character, takes mushrooms. I think it's a beverage she drinks, and you see her hallucinate. It's not like a lot of trips with a bunch of random CGI and stuff. It's mainly, let me move the microphone. It's mainly, you notice things such as the trees moving, like bending, and you notice the sky has a weird sort of filter on it. And I like that. It seemed realistic. She saw, I believe, her sister in the mirror. And then a lot of stuff happens in the movie. I really don't want to spoil it because it's been out for, maybe 3 weeks, maybe a month even. And I want people to go and watch this movie because, let me be honest, if you're a fan of stuff like The Conjuring, then you're probably going to watch Annabelle Comes Home, which looks awful. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not invested in the lore at all. I mean, the first Conjuring is a guilty pleasure. I don't care for it much. I don't know. I like Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson, but it just doesn't do it for me. So naturally, I wanted to be excited for this movie, which I was. The tone of my voice doesn't signify how I felt about the movie. I just felt that the characters weren't as strong as Hereditary, and I definitely agree with the fact that this is going to be a spoiler review. Well, a spoiler talk, I guess, little podcast thing. I do not feel that Josh should have been killed off the way he was killed off, because it's just a trope, I don't care for it. I just feel like, sorry, I'm a little tired. I just feel that with good characters, especially in a horror movie, you want them to make it out alive or succeed in some way. But Josh gets clubbed in the head with a bat, with a mallet, whatever it is, because he takes pictures of the religious texts in a little temple room, and the elder, not the elder, I guess the leader says, "Do not take a picture of these," but he was trying to prove his thesis to be with evidence, basically. So, I mean, it's just not a very fun way to, introduce a character, and then for 20 minutes, he just dies. I don't know, I didn't really care for it. I did like the paganism, I think that's the right word. I did like how they incorporate that with this movie. I don't know too much about other religious affairs, I just but I feel that when they described the life cycle and the different ages, I know 72 was the last year, I believe, and then they commit suicide off of the cliff, and there is a reason why two characters get killed off camera, and it does make sense. I think that the reveal for, I think his name was Simon, his reveal when he got killed was it was insane. You see his lungs are still moving, and that image will stay with me for a long time. I'm gonna have to rewatch it because I haven't watched it since I saw it at Regal when I went there. It was expensive, don't go there. It was $13.50 for one ticket. It's insane. But another reason why I want you to watch this movie, whoever's watching this little podcast, I want you to watch it because it's a gorgeous movie, don't get me wrong. A lot of the horrific scenes happen in the daytime, and it still makes the night scenes for me a little uncomfortable, just because your eyes can play tricks on you at night and stuff. And if you've seen Hereditary, stuff does happen at night, especially. Although I would say, if you can try to avoid the trailers and the TV spots, maybe do that, because like I said, this movie is fairly predictable in its setup and its execution and payoff and whatever. I also like some of the homages that Ari puts in his movies. And I think I'm going on a tangent. Anyway, so the dialogue is good. I like some of the shots. I actually missed the opening credits from when the inciting incident happens. I think her sister kills her parents and kills herself because she's bipolar. I think that's what happens. Don't quote me on that. I could be really wrong. But I think that I should have been to the actual screen earlier, because I did miss it, maybe good 5 minutes or so. I'm not too sure. I also like he tried to make the characters a little more likable, because I like all the characters in Hereditary, even Joan. I think that I'm not too sure as to why he chose to kill off characters in a really dumb way. I mean, I think his name is, let's see, there's Will, Danny, Josh, and Mark. Mark is the one that gets killed off first, off camera. We see what happens. Like, one of the cult members wears his face on his face. So that was cool. Little Texas Chainsaw inspiration there. I just don't like how the characters were killed off and how no one really decides to investigate what happens to them. I mean, you see what happens to Josh. I think when Chris, that's his name, not Will. When Chris sees what happens to Josh, he had his leg chopped. He was chopped into pieces, and I think he was used as some sort of decoration in the flower bed. That was a cool little reveal. Granted, I didn't like that he killed him off. He could have saved all the characters and maybe had a little twist, like in Hereditary when Charlie gets killed by the telephone pole, but it's okay, you know. When I worked at Alamo, I saw a lot of marketing and advertising, especially because every time I'd walk into Ma, which looked really dumb, the trailer would usually pop up, and you get the little music, and the score, for one thing, was nice. I have to rewatch it just to experience the score again, but I'm gonna wait until I buy a projector to actually get my movie stuff set up again, and I want to purchase better speakers, kind of like surround sound, really, because I only have these Bluetooth ones, and I've had them for a couple of years, but I want something a little more, maybe like a sound bar or two, you know? I was looking at certain projectors, and they have, they're not specifically 4K, because I would have to spend $4,000 on one, but, yeah, anyway. I would say, if you want a good horror movie, if you've seen Hereditary, you know what is going to happen. You know, there's similarities with both of those movies, and I feel Hereditary is the stronger one. Now, when I saw Chris Tuckman review it, I had a feeling he was going to be disappointed, because I wasn't that disappointed, but I wanted more of a payoff for the ending. It's not that I didn't like Danny's character at all, it's just that I couldn't relate to her because I've never lost family like that before. So, there's that. Yeah. So, I think ending this, it's not going to be as long as the first episode, but I do want to say, I am working on Tomb Raider. That much is certain. So, yeah. In a couple hours when my Wi-Fi decides to upload this video, maybe go out to the theater and watch Midsommar. I know that Ari Aster's working on an extended cut, which has 30 more minutes of footage. I'm not sure what it's going to be. I am excited for it. And I heard he's making a comedy, which is going to be interesting. I hope it's not a zombie comedy, because we've had The Dead Don't Die. I didn't see that movie. It didn't really appeal to me too much. I'm not the biggest fan of Bill Murray, but yeah. Anyway, leaving out of this video, I just want to say thank you guys for supporting me and subscribing. I really do appreciate it. Just bear with me. I've been between jobs a little bit, so I'm not financially stable right now, but as soon as NC State calls me, I'm going to be working at Starbucks at Tally. For anyone that lives in North Carolina, if you know where that is, you can come say hi. I'll give you free coffee. I don't drink coffee, I drink water. So, anyway, this has been the second episode of 1134. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys soon.